Hey, everybody, welcome to the Ronline Report. Today's guest, you know him very well. He is the mutant, Nick Walker, fresh off an incredible season. Nick, I have to start off by saying, until my Facebook memories came up about the Chicago Pro a few days ago, I didn't realize how late in the season it was last year, meaning by the time of the Olympia, you hadn't even been competing as a pro for a calendar year. Did you realize that?
Yeah. It's
Wow.
crazy, right?
So let's recap 4 pro shows. The first one was 6 weeks after turning pro at North American. Is that about right?
Yeah.
So 4th place Chicago Pro, not too shabby, but you weren't like setting the world on fire yet. But May comes along, Night of Champions. Now I'm showing my age.
Close.
It's been called the New York Pro for like 15 years, 20 years. New York Pro, you blew that out of the water. I said, okay, he's good. I don't know, Arnold Classic. I don't know how he's going to do with that, though, or the Olympia. That's going to be tough. Nope.
Yeah.
Killed the Arnold Classic, blew that away. And the Olympia, man, top 5. Top 5 at your first Olympia. First of all, most pros never get to the Olympia. Most of them never even get there. Of the ones that do, most of them never get near the top 5, ever. It's a very, very elite inner circle for, I keep harping on your age, 27 years old, first time on that stage, top 5. You have to be pleased with that. I know you wanted first place. Everybody trains to win, but how do you feel about that 5th place?
No, for my first Olympia, being in the top 5, I mean, really, what more can I ask? Besides, me wanting to win, it's a great placing for my first show. It qualifies me for next year, so I really, I can't ask for much more, honestly.
Yeah, because I was talking to your parents after the judging. They wanted to know what I thought, and when I said 4th or 5th, they seemed kind of disappointed. I was trying to tell them, guys, no, you have no idea how good that is.
That's my parents for you.
That's an incredible debut. But I got to tell you, your fans, the Walker Nation, loyal to are they loyal? They're so, the best. Dude, they are so upset that Hunter beat you. And I want to, this is my theory about that. You correct me if I'm wrong. I think it's because Hunter's also a young guy and he's coming up in the sport. If like you had been beaten if guys like Hadi or Bonac had beaten you and no one around your age and experience level, I don't think they would have been as upset. But I felt like it's because he was Hunter, because he was another young guy, that they really, really wanted you to beat him. Any idea what was going on in the minds of these millions of fans?
For my honest opinion, I think, they think that I beat him because I beat him.
Yeah. I mean, did you ever get any feedback from the judges or?
They told me I need to work on building my quads more.
Yeah.
Which I'll talk about. People didn't know, but I had a little bit of a knee injury actually doing New York.
Wow.
So that did hinder my leg training a little bit, not too much. But I will say they probably went down a little bit because of that. But it got better. Like I noticed that from the New York to the Arnold, they were, a lot fuller.
Yeah.
But I do notice they were downsized from previous years. But now that, my knee is fine and I've been able to train a lot harder and better, my legs are going to blow up really quick for next year. And they also just obviously the most obvious one is, fix my front and back lat spread. And other than that, just keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah. So what was the knee injury? Something happened while training? Or was it just like a wear and tear inflammation kind of thing?
I think it was more of an inflammation thing than anything. Now, I've been getting a lot of deep tissue work on it. So as long as it's fine. Like I don't have any pain, but mentally I want to make sure I keep my deep tissue work as frequent as possible.
So how did it affect your training? Were there certain exercises you had to stay away from? You couldn't go as heavy or what?
Yeah, it just hurt, and then I was nervous that, if I kept pushing hard, it would get worse or something worse would happen. And I'm not trying to risk everything, so I did not hold back, but I didn't train my legs as hard as I probably could. But now, like I said, they've, it's back to normal. So I've been able to really train hard, which I'm happy about.
Yeah. It's funny that you say they were downsized because typically people they notice everything. They'll compare pictures from every show and they'll point it out. like Hadi, people were saying Hadi's legs are downsized. I didn't hear that about, I hear that Nick needs more legs or sweep. I've even said that, more sweep. I would love more sweep. But nobody said his legs are downsized. I never heard that.
And I also think my hamstrings overpower my quads. So we are focusing more, not so much less hamstring, but just we took the hamstring day out, and with the 2 leg days, we're just going to start with a hamstring and then end with a hamstring and do 3 major quad movements in the middle there.
Oh, right on. Yeah, I mean, that's a good spot to be in because most guys have hamstrings that are way behind their quads.
Yeah.
And a lot of them just never catch them up. I never see it happen.
Right.
Yeah, they turn to the side and it's like, oh,
yeah,
you had good legs, dude, but no, you don't know. Lee Haney said, I'm going to imitate Lee Haney. Lee, don't get mad at me. Without hamstrings, you only got half a leg. So yeah,
that's true.
Man. So the other thing I want to talk about is off season. You haven't had an off season since, let's do the math here. You did North Americans. I'm not very good at math. You're going to have to help me out. So North American, what was the last show you did before you turned pro at North American? Was it USA?
USA's.
So you prepped for July, September. So you were prepping from, well, like March or April of 2020 until just now, basically.
Yep.
Yeah. So you didn't really get a break because you went straight from USA, North American, Chicago Pro. You didn't have much of a break from Chicago until you had to start your prep for New York Pro. And then, yeah, it's been, have you been basically in prep this whole time? Has there been any off season at all?
I mean, like you can say after Chicago, I had a little 2-month down phase, but that's not, to me, that's not really an off season. We started prep in January for New York.
Wow.
And then after New York, we, took like a 4 to 6 little break before we kicked it back up for the Arnold. And then right after the Arnold, 2 weeks later was Olympia.
So what are you doing? Are you resting now or are you going right back? Are you trying to catch that rebound and grow right now?
Oh, I'm catching the rebound. This is my favorite time of the year. Rebound phase is the best part.
Yeah. So what do you eat do you eat a ton of good food and some junk, or what do you do in this kind of phase?
Look, since I've been in prep for so long, like normally, like I'm still as strict can be, but I've definitely been enjoying some food now. So,
well, do tell. People love to hear. People are obsessed with food porn and junk.
I'm
and all that.
Actor, so I've been eating a lot of snacks. And Nature Valley bars are my favorite, so I like to eat those a lot. I've had, In-N-Out Burger. I've had Cheesecake Factory, Texas Roadhouse, and lots of Pop-Tarts, cookies. I'm just, I'm like, yeah.
So how long, I saw the guest posing, but the quality, I was looking at my phone, you can't tell. How long, there's usually that like magical period where you just keep getting bigger and fuller and veinier, and you're not really losing too much definition, but then there's that turning point in the rebound phase where it all goes to shit. Did you hit that point, or were you able to catch yourself before that happened?
No, see, I'm going back, following the diet to a T now. So I've dropped probably a good 6 pounds since the weekend. So
so you're about 250 at the Olympia, 240, 245?
Oh, 245.
45. So I'm going to take a wild guess. You're about 275 in that guest posing?
The 270.
270. Okay. Well, it looks good.
Yeah.
So you qualify for the Olympia next year already.
Yeah.
You don't need to do it. I think, the Arnold actually would have qualified you regardless, even if you hadn't done the Olympia. So is that the plan now? Is you going to take a good chunk of time and really work on all the things you want to work on?
Yeah. I mean, since like we just said, since I really haven't had, an actual off season in like almost 2 years, mentally as well, I think it's very important that I do take a long off season to make the improvements that are necessary, but also just enjoy life a little bit. But yeah, I think that'll do me really well to make, the real improvements that I need to come back to the Olympia twice as good. So,
yeah, I mean, your fans, I've said this before, but I'm so glad we have an American. I know this is going to sound, I'm not like being xenophobic. I don't hate other countries or anything, but I'm glad we have someone like yourself who's getting that type of love and support. Because I've been jealous for years. I'm like, oh man, the hottie fans, I could be doing a video about friggin' green beans or something, and they'd start talking Big Ramy, Hottie Chupan. I'm like, dude, we're not talking about those guys right now. Stay on topic. But I could do those videos now, and it's Nick Walker was robbed is all I Walker was robbed. So
Yep.
yeah, I mean, it's all subjective. If people are asking me how did Hunter beat him, eventually I'll talk to Hunter, so I'm not going to shit on Hunter. He's got a beautiful shape, beautiful structure. You're a much more massively densely packed guy.
That when we did that press conference, it's apples to oranges.
Yeah.
But I think, and this is just me, and I'm going to speak my mind. I just think overall, I was better.
Yeah.
I was harder. I was drier. I was more conditioned. I think I was more complete. But he does have a better aesthetic look, quote unquote, than I do. But that's just where I believe that's why we have classic. This is bodybuilding. This is for the freaks.
Yeah. I mean, it's like I said, the Brandon and Ramy thing. A lot of people thought Brandon won that show. They preferred his physique. And a lot of people say, the Ramy fans and a lot of other people say, you're crazy. Ramy blew everybody away. So it's, this is not a finish line, put this many balls in the net, get this many goals type of sport. It's all, it comes down to opinion, and, we'll see what happens. All you can do is get better and better until you're undeniable.
I'm not like upset. I don't have any, anger toward anyone. Like I said, it's my first Olympia. I was fifth.
Yeah.
I know it needs to be done. I know it needs to be fixed. And next year I'll be sure to come back undeniable to where they can't deny me anything.
Yeah. Here we go with math again, but I said in a couple things that I think you're at about 70% of your full potential, maybe even less than that.
I'm nowhere near done.
No. I mean, it's about 20, by the time I think between 30 and 35, those are going to be your years where you're probably going to be just, you never know. Cause I always thought Flex Wheeler and Kevin Levroni and Sean Ray would be dominating, but I see you, if not Mr. Olympia for several years, you'll be right there pushing whoever is, maybe going back and forth, winning titles with somebody. Cause it seems like the Olympia title seems like it's changing hands more often lately.
Yeah.
Which is a good thing, I think.
I do too. I believe it makes it more exciting for sure.
100%. Yeah. I mean, and if you win multiple Olympia titles, eventually people start hating you and they want you to start losing.
Exactly. They don't
like Cutler. These guys we loved Cutler, but then after he won like 3 Olympias, people were like,
yeah, no, it's how it works.
Ronnie, by Ronnie's like 5th, 6th Olympia, people are like,
I know.
and it only took like 3 Olympias and people were like ready to get rid of him. But people are fickle. They want new faces. And I think that's a huge reason you've been so popular. We haven't had too many people come along in open bodybuilding that are that good, that just they're crushing it out of the gate the way you did. So that's exciting too, because it's cool to watch somebody take years to work their way up the ranks, but you got to have a lot of patience for that too.
Agreed.
So man, I will let you go. I appreciate you taking the time. I'm glad you're getting some treats. That was a long ass prep.
Sure was.
Congratulations, man. It was a hell of a season.
I appreciate it, man.
The best is yet to come. So guys, go to the Nick Walker YouTube channel. Plenty of awesome content. Where else can they find you, Nick? Nick Walker 39 on Instagram.
Yeah.
Is there an underscore in there somewhere?
Yeah, Nick_Walker 39. Yeah.
And yeah, man, great year. Congratulations. And the best definitely yet to come for you. I'm no doubt of that. No doubt.
100%, baby.
All right. Thank you, Nick. Thanks, guys, for watching. Appreciate it. We'll see you next time.